we're gonna talk about WandaVision so far, and that's the first 4 episodes. Let's do non-spoilers for a little bit, and then we'll stop and we'll call out when we're gonna go into spoilers and theories and stuff like that. If you have not watched WandaVision, don't watch that part, please, because it's a really good show, and I don't want to ruin it for you. But yeah, let's start with some general impressions on the first half of WandaVision. What are you thinking?
You know, I'm really liking it. I am actually really liking it. Um, it's not as trippy as I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be a little bit weirder and stranger and all that stuff. It hasn't like blown me away just yet, but I know that they're building. They're building and they're building, and they're eventually going to get to a point later on in the series where it's just going to be like boom, and I'm just going to be floored.
Yeah.
I feel like that's going to come, but just so far, even though it's been very interesting, and I want to know more about what Wanda's doing and why she's in this town and all this other stuff. I feel like there's still some digging to do.
Yeah.
Got to get to that. Got to get to that gold.
Are you at this point? Are you missing the traditional Marvel stuff, like the action and the powers and stuff like that? Or are you fine without it for now? Because a lot of people seem to be frustrated by it. I'm not, but what are you thinking?
I'm not frustrated by that at all. Honestly, I'm glad to see that they're trying something that's so different.
Yeah.
Like when I think of Marvel, I do think of a bunch of punching. I feel like action. I think of Iron Man flying through the sky. I think of Chris Evans throwing his shield, and I think of Thor, shooting his bolts of lightning and spinning his hammer and stuff. And I do really, Infinity War and Endgame, those big mashup movies were just incredible. Like what you were saying earlier. There's nothing quite like opening night of Endgame. That was like a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, it's and it shouldn't work is one of the other amazing things. Like if someone walked into a room and explained Infinity War Endgame to me as a movie or the 2-part movie, it's two movies, but I'd be like, there's no way you could make this work. There's too much going on, but it does.
But yeah, and I mean, I do kind of wish that there was a little bit more action because, at least in those first 2 episodes where it was all black and white, I remember thinking like once or twice through those episodes being like, this is a little slow, it's missing something. Like, yeah, there's some good, like, interesting things like Wanda moving the stuff with her powers, like moving the dishes and stuff.
Let's hold on. I mean, that's not really a spoiler.
Yeah, it's not. I was trying to. Yeah.
Let's keep the specifics for just a minute. But
yeah, totally. But
I get what you're saying. I don't personally feel that, like, just because I'm enjoying the weirdness and the difference of it. I get where people are coming from, though, because the audience has been conditioned over the last, 2008 was Iron Man. So 10, 12, 13, 12 years and a month, basically, of these movies. Yeah, they've been action adventure with comedy elements. And I get the frustration that it's not that, but also it's so fresh to me. And it's, in my opinion, if WandaVision and what they're doing is an indication of what the MCU's future is, like, it's going to be better than it ever has been.
Absolutely.
Because its commitment to what it's doing is so good. And I think even as a sitcom, which is, it basically just is a sitcom for a while, I think it's pretty funny and charming.
Yeah, wholeheartedly agree. And I would also say, after so many years of so many movies where it's like, you have a hero, you have an antagonist, and this is their story of how they overcome that antagonist, overcome like their own personal growth and become the superhero at the end of the movie. We've seen that so many times.
Yeah, the origin story is so played out, which is why I'm glad they aren't doing it so much anymore. Like Black Panther, he is Black Panther already. The origin happened. We didn't see it because we didn't need to. And yeah, I mean, I guess most of the other characters got origins, but Black Widow's not an origin story.
Yeah, but we've had plenty of that with like Iron Man and Captain America and to a lesser extent Thor, I suppose. But we've had all these like one-off movies where I feel like I can predict how the movie's going to go.
Yeah.
From not every single element of the movie per se, but you know,
right.
I can predict,
the structure, it's the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
I can, you know, structurally speaking, yeah, it's the same kind of movie. So it's nice to see something that's so different from that. That's taking the formula that we're expecting and just disregarding that entirely.
Yeah, and that's why I'm excited for Loki too. I think Loki is going to be equally wacky.
Oh yeah.
I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier is going to be great too, but I'm a little worried about that one coming right off of WandaVision because and this is just my gut feeling, I could totally be wrong, but I feel like Falcon and Winter Soldier is the show that's going to feel most like Marvel, like formulaic Marvel. And
yeah.
I think it's going to do that really well, but I'm worried for it coming off of the strangeness that is WandaVision, because it starts the week after WandaVision ends.
Oh, I didn't know it was that quick.
Yeah, I think Disney's plan is to have a Marvel show on at all times, so we never unsubscribe.
Smart, yeah.
Yeah. Smart. Good business. It's nothing.
Something Star Wars or Marvel related always, please.
Yeah. One more thing before spoilers. Do you think that someone who has not watched all of the MCU to this point could watch and enjoy WandaVision?
That's a great question. I think that they probably could, honestly. Okay. If you came into this with at least, you know, a bare bones knowledge of of who the Avengers are or were,
yeah.
I think that you could definitely enjoy this film, or excuse me, this series.
Yeah.
But you know, I think there's also a lot of contextual stuff in there that like pulls into the larger story.
Yeah.
Like if you don't know what happened after or what happened in Infinity War or
yeah, especially Infinity War.
Yeah, if you don't know what happened there, you're going to be like a little bit confused watching the series. I think you'll be like, why is this happening?
Yeah, I think you'd miss out on why the creepy stuff is creepy in
yeah.
WandaVision because you don't know that context. And yeah, and I kind of agree. I think when it's full sitcom, like the first 2 episodes mostly are, I kind of agree with you, but especially as it goes on into the later episodes, especially the most recent one, like that one more than anything, I think the non-Marvel audience is going to get lost, and I think that's okay. But I'm assuming Kevin Feige and them are smart enough to realize that this show is shrinking their audience. It's much more niche in a lot of ways, and I think the Marvel audience overall might shrink just a bit because you have to watch WandaVision probably to understand Doctor Strange 2, where Elizabeth Olsen is the co-lead of that movie. So we'll see. But you want spoilers so we can just unleash?
Yeah, let's do it. Why not?
Let's do we'll do a little countdown. A little spoilers in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Skip to the time code.